Maisha TV, sasa ni bora zaidi.
Kama sio kimwili, kiroho.
Yaani ninahisi kabisa hata mimi na wewe tutapokuwa pamoja. Hivi nikifanya kitu chochote ndani kwako itakuwaje?
Maisha Swahili.
Swali hilo halihitaji majibu.
Mdomo na ushona ndugu yangu. Kama maisha ndio nimeshapata na nimeyapata kupitia bahati yako.
Usidanganyane.
Wewe ndio chanzo cha kumalizia mwanangu maisha.
Ndio Mr. Kanijo bwana. Achiola.
Vijana wa kiume sasa waliotimia wameguzwa wanawake.
Na sijui umetokea wapi wewe mzee kuja kutia dosari maisha yako.
Uzee mwisho Chalinzi hapa alikuja Dar es Salaam wote vijana.
Mimi ninachotaka kujua ni nini ya hatima Maisha.
I hope your day has been productive. It has been for us here on Maisha Television News Desk. We've got a lot lined up for you from across the country and beyond. Here are the stories making headlines tonight.
Sasa ukiona zile chuma zinatolewa hapa ni za kujenga, hata si choo, hata si nyumba ya mnyama. Hizi ni mawaya, sio chuma.
Wenye walipitisha hii mijengo hawa county government pia wanafaa kuchukuliwa hatua.
Also tonight,
so if we go to the polling stations, our polling stations on 9th of August, and then the machines fail to work, then what do? That is what we are asking Chebukati.
Plus, welcome, my name is Rida Chebet Karing. Media coverage of Kenya's 2022 general election campaigns has improved compared to the coverage in the run-up to the 2017 polls. This is according to a media monitoring report by the Media Council of Kenya that showed improved adherence to journalistic ethics by Kenyan media houses, despite the interference of media ownership on framing and coverage of political stories. The report, covering April to early June 2022, shows a drastic decrease in breaches to the Code of Conduct for the practice of journalism in Kenya. Bushebi Jr. with more.
According to Media Council of Kenya report, media coverage of Kenya's 2022 general election campaign has improved compared to the coverage in the run-up to the 2017 polls.
Kuchunguza na kuangalia jinsi ambavyo vyombo vya habari na wanahabari wenyewe wanafanya kazi yao. Kwa hivyo tulipopata malalamishi kutoka kwa mgombea mmoja wa urais kwamba vyombo vya habari havifanyi kazi inavyostahili, kwamba pengine vinapendelea waombeaji wengine, tulifanya uchunguzi ambao huwa tunaofanya, yani ile media monitoring and research, kuona je, mambo yanayosema na wanasiasa ni kweli ama ni uongo, pengine vyombo vya habari vinapendelea upande mmoja ama vipendelei. Kwa hivyo tukachukua magazeti, redio na runinga kadhaa kuangalia, kwanza tukapima wamewapatia muda kiasi gani wagombea tofauti.
A media monitoring report by the Media Council of Kenya shows improved adherence to journalistic ethics by Kenyan media houses, despite the interference of media ownership on framing and coverage of political stories.
96% of the coverage was in news segments, not promos, not events, just in the news segments. So you see now we are working around, if you look at the graph on the right, we are looking at the 4 cleared candidates. On 10th June, Ruto has almost 150 more stories or more seconds than Raila. Then Raila shoots up through the dates, and they have equal number of coverage by the 16th of June. So that was the week of the complaint. These were the discussions. So we had the difference is not much between the two.
The report, covering April to early June 2022, shows drastic decrease in breaches to the Code of Conduct for the practice of journalism in Kenya. On the flip side, however, the reporting by both the mainstream and community radio stations on both national and county and regional politics was skewed in favor of regional politics. The MCK report focused on how the mainstream media reported on the 17 candidates who had expressed strong interest for the presidency and showed up for clearance and registration by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC).
At the top we had Maisha 513 stories versus William Ruto's 399 or 400. Citizen Radio 439 stories, Raila 282 for Ruto. Milele FM 448 versus 271, Baitu and the rest. I have to clarify that at this time, at that level, we were looking at a comparison of the two candidates, the UDA and the Azimio candidate, and how much was distributed. So on the right side you have the second, so the duration of the stories and all that. When it comes to the duration, not much, because we have 51,000 seconds versus 41,000 seconds and the rest. The data is available. I said this is just data, not much to do.
Radio remains the biggest dispenser of political news with 62% coverage. This is attributed to existence of several national and community radio stations compared to TV and print. Television comes second at 27%, a situation attributed to wide penetration and frequency distribution. Print is rated third at 11%. The report also indicates that social media platforms are mostly used to spread disinformation and misinformation. Online platforms were mostly characterized by political headlines, focusing on the presidential candidates, their running mates and party primaries. Most importantly, their stories resonated around the two major political parties, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition and Kenya Kwanza Coalition. The report notes an increased coverage of the Kenya Kwanza Coalition following earlier concerns by the side of unfair coverage. In some cases, overtaking the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya, particularly on the radio platform.
William Ruto cries foul of unfair coverage compared to Raila. After the complaint, so what we have released was how the media was looking before the complaint. After the complaint, we went out again to check the data. We noticed a few changes. Number one, there is increased coverage of Kenya Kwanza and William Ruto after the complaint. Reasonable increase. However, still Raila is ahead, but the difference is not that big. Number two, most notable is radio remains the king.
However, overall, the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya candidate Raila Odinga leads in media space consumption, followed by Kenya Kwanza Coalition flag bearer William Ruto.
Na ni katika vyombo vya habari vyote pia tukagundua kwamba si vyombo vya habari pia vina wamiliki, na hata katika vyombo vya habari ambavyo vinamilikiwa na washiriki wa Bwana William Ruto pia vimempa Bwana Raila Odinga muda zaidi. Kwa hivyo sasa uwezi wa shutumu wamiliki, kwa maana ingekuwa na mmiliki basi tunasema bwana, angalia vyombo vya habari vinavyoegemea mrengo wa UDA vinampa huyu muda zaidi ama vinavyoegemea mlengo huu vinampa muda zaidi, kwa maana tumeangalia kwa mfano
The Media Council of Kenya Chief Executive Officer Mr. David Omoyo said the run-up to the 2022 polls is already radiating a lot of heat, particularly on the presidential seat.
Kwa muda mrefu pia William Ruto alikuwa ndiye pekee aliyetangaza kwamba atawania urais. Kwa hivyo bila shaka atapata muda mwingi katika vyombo vya habari mpaka huyu Raila aliposema pia sasa vyombo vitagawanyika viseme oya nani pia amerudi tena.
He adds that the council has noticed interest in issue-based reporting but calls for more efforts by the media and political players.
Kweli ni kwamba vyombo vya habari vinatakiwa viendelee kujikaza. Vimejaribu sana hasa katika wiki mbili zilizopita, vimejaribu sana kuwapa wagombea urais muda ambao haujafika kabisa, lakini si mbaya sana, wanaweza kuongeza zaidi.
He revealed that the council will continue training journalists, media practitioners and creatives on various aspects of elections reporting to boost professionalism, adding that council has so far trained over 2,000 media workers across the country in preparation for the transitional polls. For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, Ambushabi Junior.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition on Friday resolved to drop some candidates in a new strategy to have more numbers in parliament. Azimio la Umoja One Kenya presidential candidate Raila Odinga chaired the meeting that made the decision that is likely to trigger major political backlash within the coalition. At the same time, the Azimio la Umoja presidential secretariat team has been directed to interrogate the recently gazetted 2022 voters register and report back to the coalition council. Millicent Makoha with more.
The second Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Council meeting took place at KICC in Nairobi. The coalition's presidential flag bearer and Orange Democratic Movement party leader Raila Odinga was chairing the meeting in the absence of the chair, President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is in Rwanda for the 26th Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. With 45 days to the August 9th general election, the council membership was set to review the party's campaign strategy to ensure Odinga wins the August 9th elections.
Discussed and approved a strategy to synergize the strength brought by each party to the coalition by rationalizing and harmonizing candidates in all elective positions and mandated each constituent party to implement the strategy. 4. Express satisfaction with the party's strategy that is on course to ensure a victory for the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya presidential candidate with over 15 million votes.
Also, top of the agenda was the review, formulation and approval of party policies to ensure the coalition party wins majority seats in parliament and in all 47 county assemblies.
We are starting what is called 15 million strong. B, that Azimio la Umoja One Kenya forms the next government of the Republic of Kenya under the presidency of His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga.
The council members include Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka na Kenya Party leader Martha Karua, Governor Ali Hassan Joho, KANU chairman Gideon Moi, NARC leader Charity Ngilu, DAP-K Party leader Wafula Wamunyinyi, Murang'a Women representative Sabina Chege, Abdi Nur, Omar Farah, and Taveta Member of Parliament Naomi Shaban.
For the general election and other matters relating to the election, the council resolved: 1. Exhorted all Azimio supporters and indeed all Kenyans to engage in peaceful campaigns characterized by respect for dissent and the views of others, which are the only means of ensuring a stable post-election economic environment, which is essential for a united, inclusive, fair and prosperous nation.
Sonar East Member of Parliament Junet Mohammed was the Secretary General of the National Executive Council of the Coalition Party.
Noted that the 2022 voters register has now been published in the Kenya Gazette and directed the National Coalition Executive Committee together with the Presidential Campaign Secretariat to interrogate the data further and report their observations back to the Council by 28 June 2022.
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television, I'm Millicent Makoha.
And the Kenya Kwanza team, led by its presidential flag bearer William Samuel Ruto, headed to the coastal part of the country, seeking to rule the region to support Ruto's bid come August. The team campaigned in Kwale, Taita Taveta, Kilifi and Mombasa counties. Sharon Chepchumba with more.
Deputy President William Ruto has made a grand return to coastal region on Friday. The second in command kicked off his 3-day campaigns in coast region, where he held rallies in Taita Taveta, Kwale, Mombasa and Kilifi counties.
Konya, hatutaki mtu ya TV mtiala na ria hakuna kazi. Ama mnasemaje watu wa hapa Kinango? Tumekubaliana? Tumekubaliana?
Huyu ndiye rais wa UDA na Kenya Kwanza. Mtapigia William Ruto. Mikono juu wale watapigia William.
Addressing the residents of Wundanyi and Kajire in Taita Taveta County, Ruto drummed up support for his bid and castigated his opponents, saying they lack agenda for the common mwananchi.
Mwaka huu tunasema kazi ni kazi. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Tunasema kazi ni nini? Niliwaambia hata kama biashara yako kidogo ni kidogo, wewe mtu wa Wundanyi, hata kama wewe unauza mboga ama wewe ni mtu ya bodaboda ama wewe ni mtu wa biashara aina yote, sisi tunasema kazi ni kazi. Ni jukumu letu kama serikali tuwasaidie kila Mkenya ili aweze kuinua biashara yake, ndio tuweze kuzalisha Kenya yenye iko na usawa.
Ruto has vowed to lower the prices of farming products and promised economic and infrastructure development in the region to ensure the cost of living is brought down to affordable levels if elected in the August 9th general election.
Nataka munisikize vizuri. Mimi nataka niwaulize. Si rais ametuambia ya kwamba mshauri wake mkubwa ni bwana Kitendawili? Si rais mwenyewe alituambia? Ati Kitendawili amekuwa akimshauri. Sasa mimi nataka nimuulize bwana Kitendawili, wewe ulishauri rais mpaka bei ya unga ikafika shilingi 300? Tupunguza gharama ya mbolea, tupunguze gharama ya mbegu, tuwasaidie wakulima wasalishe chakula ili tuondoe aibu ya njaa katika taifa letu la Kenya. Tuko pamoja? Tunaelewana? Tunaelewana? Jambo la pili, mimi nataka niwaambie hivi. Kwa vyovyote tumekuwa
DP Ruto was accompanied by several leaders affiliated to the Kenya Kwanza coalition as they campaigned for their bottom-up economic plan.
Unataka uendelee kutawala Kenya ama mnataka mtu wa kawaida atawale Kenya ndio tupate haki yetu? Kwa hivyo naomba kura yetu yote tumpigie William Samuel. Wangapi wanampigia Ruto nyoyo kwa mkono?
Silizama hasla kuandika bottom up. Basi tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 sisi kama Wakwale tujitokeze kwa wingi, tupige kura, ndio hiyo shamba ya Nyari irudi kwa watu wa wapi?
Ukiwa rais, mwananchi wa chini anaenda kukumbukwa. Hapa tuko na matatizo jamani. Wafanyi biashara mama mboga wako na shida.
Kati ya wale wote wanasimama urais, mtu mmoja tu wao ambaye uliona gavana wetu ambaye ni hasla na ni mfanyikazi, amefanya kazi nzuri na umemshika mkono. Watu wenu ama tuenue?
Huu mimi nawauliza watu wa Chaani, watu wa Changamwe na Mombasa, tafadhali tuchague serikali ambayo inajua maisha ya mwananchi, wananchi wa kawaida wanaishi namna gani. Tunaelewana?
For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Sharon Chepchumba.
The electoral agency has invited the 4 presidential candidates to a meeting next Wednesday on the back of mounting protest over its controversial ban on the use of the printed voter register on polling day. On the election results path, the forum is expected to consider the transmission of results from the polling station to the National Tallying Center, where Mr. Chebukati, who is also the presidential elections returning officer, will declare the results. But it is in the decision to phase out the use of the physical voter register at the 46,232 polling stations and instead rely on electronic identification using fingerprint sensors that the IEBC has walked into the eye of the storm. Mr. Odinga and a group of civil society groups have separately protested against the decision, arguing that there are no assurances that there will be no technology failures, as happened in the last polls when the Kenya Integrated Elections Management Systems kits failed.
We have said there is really nothing wrong with electronic identification of voters. That is the way to go. We would want electronic voter identification because it minimizes theft of votes. But previously we have seen cases where the system has failed and it has been consistent, and we have our feelings, and we fear, we have a concern that it may not be different. So if we go to the polling stations, our polling stations on 9th of August, and then the machines fail to work, then what do you do? That is what we are asking Chebukati. How can you tell us that there will be no manual identification of voters, yet you know very well that your systems have failed previously and are likely to fail again? We are not praying for them to fail. We don't want them to fail, but there is a likelihood. So if that happens on the voting day, it might disenfranchise our voters, and that is why we are telling him he should be careful before that is concluded.
The High Court sitting in Nairobi says it has no jurisdiction to determine whether former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko and former Kiambu County Executive Committee member Karungo Wathangwa should be barred from the August 9th polls. The 3-judge bench, led by Justice David Majanja, asked the petitioners to explore and exhaust internal dispute resolution mechanisms with the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC). Mike Mbuvi Sonko and Thangwa had been sued by voters and also the civil society groups, challenging the eligibility to contest in the August 9th general elections on grounds that they had been impeached. IEBC chairperson Ofula Watnyonyi Chebukati had earlier noted that impeached leaders were not eligible to hold any elective or appointive office. Chebukati's decision saw Sonko move to the High Court to contest the decision, as he stated that he still has an active case challenging his impeachment. Additionally, his legal team, while appearing before the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Dispute Tribunal, asked the committee to overturn the decision of the Mombasa County Returning Officer, who declined to clear him until the High Court made a ruling. However, the tribunal upheld IEBC's decision, stating that he was denied clearance for many other reasons, including the late submission of his certified academic documents.
In this case, the Supreme Court therefore emphasized that the issue of suitability of a candidate ought to be brought before the IEBC in the first instance and pursued from there. Applying the above principles to the case at hand, we hold that the cases concerning the named Michael Sonko, Paul Thangwa, and Samuel Arama were presented to the court prematurely. Even then, the parties admitted that they had submitted themselves to the jurisdiction of the DRC under 88(4)E as read with Section 74 of the Elections Act. And since the DRC process has been invoked, it must be allowed to run its course. The jurisdiction of this court should not be invoked until that process is exhausted. This is what the court stated in International Policy and Conflict and others versus Attorney General, that where there exist sufficient and adequate mechanisms to deal with a specific issue or dispute by other designated constitutional organs, the jurisdiction of the court should not be invoked until such mechanisms have been exhausted. Where the Constitution and or statute established a dispute resolution procedure, then that procedure must be used. We therefore find and hold that the petition relating to the nomination process concerning Mike Sonko and Paul Kangwa and Samuel Arama are premature, and we therefore decline jurisdiction. On the issue of costs, we take the view that petitions have been filed in the public interest and for purposes of enforcing the Constitution, and we shall not award costs. We accordingly strike out all the petitions, but with no order as to costs.
Vihiga Governor Wilberforce Otichilo has called upon the Ministry of Health to allow the county government's health institutions acquire medical supplies from sources other than KEMSA. Otichilo said that KEMSA at times lack needed drugs and other medical supplies, negatively affecting services in hospitals.
We still have a challenge with KEMSA, and I talked to the PS this morning that while we put orders, but it takes time for the orders to come, for the delivery, and some of the essential drugs that we require in our health facilities, sometimes we don't get them. So we are left to start looking them elsewhere. We have been very, very vigilant in ensuring that we do policy and legislation on health matters.
KEMSA is right on the path of reform. I think we are firmly on the right path. We are going to re-engineer KEMSA. We are repositioning KEMSA to be precisely what it was created to be, delivering medicines in a timely manner to all the public health facilities in the country, getting us value for money, getting us...
Away from that, Land CS Farida Karonei now says that Land CS Farida Karonei now wants states to enlist in national land system. The government aims to geo-reference lands in the country under the Land Registration Act. Karonei says the beauty of the system is that one cannot operate outside the law, hence curb land fraud cases.
You actually cannot operate outside the law because this system is built to comply with existing law. So if you are registering a property, you must use an apartment, you must use the Section of Properties Act. Otherwise, it will not allow you to transact on that parcel. If you are registering land, we use the Land Registration Act because, as I will be telling you, we have almost completed the process of conversion because you had him talk about 5 different laws, including one which really amuses me, Indian Transfer of Property Act of 1882. How can we be having a law of 1882 in the year 2022? So anyway, we are converting, and we are now falling under the ambit of the Land Registration Act. The beauty of that is that once you close all the other registers, you eliminate the confusion and the fraud that is encouraged by parallel registers. Some people use different registration regimes to register the same parcel of land. That's how come you will... When we took Nairobi Registry live last year, we only had 19,000 parcels on the platform. Now we have close to 60,000. I think we have around 58,000. Why did we have only 19,000? Because to put this data, so we have very, very rigid and rigorous protocols for interrogating data for 3 things: for accuracy, for integrity, and for completeness. I think, Dr. you alluded that if something is missing, then you're not able to transact. And this was deliberate. It's very painful for our customers, by the way. But we've come from a past where people inserted records in the file, plucked other records, or stole a whole file, those kinds of things. So we are saying for you to be able to transact with a land parcel, it must meet 3 elements. The record must be complete. We must be certain that there's a record of integrity, that it was acquired properly, and it is accurate. So if it says it's Farida in the morning, in the past, you would search, there was something called limbs. That was a fake thing. You would search in the morning, it says the land belongs to Farida. In the afternoon, it belongs to Berita. By evening, it is now belonging to Ibrahim and your Ministry of Lands. So you go to court, there are 3 searches of the same property with 3 different owners. Previously, I would give you land and maybe I've given you land in Karura Forest. But in this system, it is not possible to do so because we are geo-referencing all these properties, meaning we are giving it coordinates. It's like flying in a helicopter. If you don't have coordinates, then you don't know where you're going. So this system geographically places each parcel on its true location on the ground.
And of course, we had different commissions touching on land. And most of these commissions, including the Constitution of Kenya Review Commission, they try to characterize some of the problems, especially on land administration and management. For example, they characterize the land administration system as being centralized, as being bureaucratic, as facilitating fraud, corruption, inefficiency. They also said it was unresponsive and opaque. And this is important so as to appreciate where the government is coming from with the land digitization program.
Let's take a commercial break. Stay tuned for more news.
When it comes to roofing, Prime Roofing Mabati is the best. Prime Mabati Factory Kenya has the experience on fast, free and safe delivery to any part of the country. Order now. Our Mabati profiles include Roma Tile G28 at 710 shillings, G30 at 580 shillings, Brett Style G28 at 710 shillings, G30 at 580 shillings, Uri Tile G28 at 710 shillings, G30 at 580 shillings, Zen Tile G28 at 710 shillings, G30 at 580 shillings. In the glossy finish, we have Box Profile G30 at 475 shillings, Corrugate G30 at 480 shillings. All with a variety of colors to choose from. In the galvanized, we have ordinary Mabati G30 at 390 shillings, G32 at 330 shillings. Prices are done per meters. Our offers include free delivery and free packets of rubber washers for every order. Our Mabati are durable, strong, corrosion free and have a 15-year warranty fade free.
Tunapeana mabati na warranty ya 15 years ambapo ukinunua mabati yetu kuna document tutakupea ambapo ni warranty which reflects 15 years.
For inquiries, call our branches in Bungoma 0701 600 700, in Busia 0797 600 700, in Kikuyu 0713 005 566. Our Bungoma office is located along Bungoma Mumias Road next to St. Domiano Hospital opposite Mississippi Plaza at ABC Building. In Busia, we are located along Busia Road at Bumala Market next to Post Office. Prime Roofing Mabati, roofing made easy.
Engineering jobs can now also be found widely in the computer engineering, software engineering, nanotechnology, mechatronics, and many more.
Engineering tips in association with Bushangala Technical Institute Kakamega. Send an SMS quickly with your name, type of course, KCSE or KCPE min grade, postal or email address, desired intake, phone number and your ID to 0721 2801 80 or 0726 800561. Write to the principal, PO Box 2227 5100 Kakamega. Visit us online on www.bushangalatechnical.ac.ke. Exams are carried out by the Kenya National Examination Council. Bushangala Technical Institute Kakamega, Center of Excellence.
Mwanafunzi anapojiunga na chuo cha Biblia analipia tu production ya vitabu, kwa sababu tunafanya kitabu kimoja shilingi 200 na tuition fee tunafanya shilingi 1000 per semester, yani katika msimu mmoja wa kusoma. Mafundisho haya si ya dini moja. Ni mafundisho ambayo katika kimombo tunasema it is interdenominational.
Welcome to Gospel Believers Fellowship Bible College. Contact us today 0724 039 828 0724 039 828, or you can visit our offices at Gospel Believers Fellowship Headquarters Church next to Bungoma Huduma Center. Gospel Believers Fellowship Bible College, teaching you to know Christ.
Do you believe in forever?
I followed my heart and it led me to her. I have fallen in love. Do you understand me? I have fallen in love.
So you're in love? You say you're in love?
In a love story of two people from two different worlds.
You don't want me to work, do you? You never wanted it.
Nagme.
Am I to sit at home all day long, waiting for you to come home while I watch the children? Is that it?
Of course, and I want them too.
You know what? Maybe we're not the right people for each other. Maybe what I want is something you can't give me.
Nagme, that's enough. Nagme!
How can the heart tell that someone must be the one?
Oh, please save my daughter. Do something good for once in your life. You must accept her as Eshter's second wife. And save my daughter.
For anyone who has loved the first time, one always believes it is bound to last a lifetime.
Now that nobody is doing anything, I guess I'll have to do what it takes. Better you die than be my daughter. No! Ah! Help me! Don't run! Help me! Somebody stop!
In a love story of two people from two different worlds.
What happened? Tell me.
Is it true what I've heard? Was that girl your girlfriend? And did you sleep with her as well?
I wanted to tell you, but I didn't want to make you upset.
Don't you touch me.
You are mine. Every Saturday and Sunday on Maisha TV at 6 p.m. It is a season of seriousness, and only the serious presenters come onto your screen.
Maisha Prime News and Maisha Prime Morning Edition. My hustle, my story.
Maisha Prime Weekend.
Rida Chebet, Millicent Makoha, Brian Gad. Only on Maisha TV. The stage is set. The time is now. Credible news. It is prime news. Only on Maisha TV. Prepare for the beast. Informative, authoritative, unbiased. Welcome to Maisha News.
Welcome back, and moving on, the race to succeed Matungu Member of Parliament Oscar Nabolindo is gaining momentum. The Movement for Democratic and Growth Party candidate, who is the former Kakamega Speaker Mr. Maurice Buluma, is traversing the constituency in a bid to woo Matungu residents to support his bid come August. Speaking at Harambe Market on Friday, Mr. Barasa Tom, the party's chairman, criticized the current leadership for failing to fulfill what they promised residents during their campaigns. Nerima Wekesa with more.
With less than 2 months to the 9th August polls, aspirants seeking elective seats have moved to vigorously campaign to sell their manifestos to the electorates.
Zingine kukuja kujiunga na timu ya Maurice Ndakwa Buluma Speaker ambaye anawania kiti cha Matungu.
Tumekuwa timu ya Lanya, kwa tunaunga Lanya mkono, tuliamua tuende kwa speaker. Na sababu
speaking exclusively to Maisha television at Harambe Market in Matungu constituency on Friday, Mr. Tom Barasa, the chairman of Movement for Democratic and Growth Party, representing the former speaker of Kakamega County, Mr. Maurice Ndakwa Buluma, who is vying for the member of parliament seat in Matungu constituency, explained the reason why they have chosen to support Mr. Buluma.
Kwa majina naitwa John Tom Juma. Mimi ndio campaigning manager wa Speaker Maurice Ndakwa Buluma, na leo hii tumebarikiwa kupokea wageni kutoka kwa camp ambayo imekuwa ya David Aokowere ambaye alikuwa mbunge wa zamani. Wengi wao wametoka Koyonzo Ward baada ya kuona manifesto mazuri tulio nayo kwa ajili ya watu wa Matungu. Wameamua kwa kauli moja kutufunga mkono ili tupate nafasi ya kuwakilisha watu wa Matungu tarehe 9 ya mwezi wa 8 tukienda bungeni. Majorly hii timu wengine wametoka tu kwa polling station yenye iko karibu na Mheshimiwa Were, baada ya kuona na kutafakari na kuona manifesto yetu ni mazuri ya kupeleka Matungu mbele na kuleta maendeleo katika eneo hili la Matungu constituency. Kwa hivyo tunashukuru, na wenyewe wataongea moja hadi mwingine na mahali wametoka. Asanteni sana.
The leaders from the community present at the event criticized the current leadership for not keeping their promises of delivering service promised to the electorates.
Kwa majina Silvanso Duorogola kutoka Indangalasia, Koyonzo Ward, Nyapora polling station. Nina furaha kubwa kuingia kwa kikundi cha For Good Change ya Buluma, sababu sisi kama watu wa chini huko kidogo, hata tukisema nini mtu akija huko Indangalasia aweza akafikiria Indangalasia iko Kenya. Mambo ya barabara, mambo ya stima, mambo ya mama kupata maji, bado wanategemea maji ya mtoni. Na hayo yote ambayo inaweza fanyika tukiungana na mwenzetu wana speaker ambaye anaendelea kutafuta kiti cha ubunge, niko na hakika watu wangu watasikia vizuri, na si kwa hao peke yao, kwa jumla ya Matungu constituency.
Women present at the function vote to support Mr. Buluma, terming him as a transparent and supportive leader, calling upon Matungu residents to vote for him come August. For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television, I'm Nerima Wekesa.
Busia and Bungoma counties have been identified as among those that are lagging behind in the completion of CBC classrooms. Principal Secretary for Early Learning and Basic Education, Dr. Julius Yuan, noted that some 6 competence-based curriculum CBC classes are yet to be completed in Busia County, a challenge that has been attributed to termination of some contracts.
Of the 6 classrooms in 6 schools, there are 3 that are at the roofing stage. There's 1 which is at the finishing stage, just doing the painting. We have already discussed with the contractors, with the principals and the county director of education who is here, the DCCs, and we have agreed those ones are getting completed in a week's time.
Na unapata kwamba mtu hajapata payment mpaka saa hii na hata hakuna pa kufuata. Wengine wakilipwa, unajua hiyo pesa tena inatolewa pale ushuru. Tuna pesa ambayo inakatwa pale kama retention na ni pesa yenyewe ni kidogo, na tumekuwa na mambo hii ya COVID, mambo ya changamoto ya mafuta hii ambayo imekuja ikaleta shida. So imechangia sana hali ambayo haijakuwa hali mzuri.
We have also learned that there are few contractors who are finished and have not received their payments. I've talked to my officers back in the office, and we are going to make sure that the contractors get their money as soon as possible.
And now to sad news. 2 construction workers in Kitengela, Kajiado County have lost their lives after a 3-story building around EPS area collapsed. Confirming the incident is Senior Deputy County Commissioner Justus Musau noted that the mid-morning incident occurred after a section of the building caved in during construction. 11 people escaped unhurt.
Haigetokea kama wenye walipitisha wanakujaga kuangalia zile vitu zinatumika, materials zenye zinatumika. Sasa ukiona zile chuma zinatolewa hapa ni za kujenga, hata si choo, hata si nyumba ya mnyama. Hizi ni mawaya, sio chuma.
Wenye walipitisha hii mijengo hawa county government pia wanafaa kuchukuliwa hatua. Juu hizi chuma, hii mchanga sioni kama inafaa kufanya kazi kabisa. Hii ngoroba hata venye imejengwa, hata hiyo koroga hawajakorogea vizuri, hata maji hawapei maji, na hiyo si kitu mzuri kabisa. Na hata mchanga ni ile ya huku kuokota huko kwa nini? Kwa barabara hiyo mchanga. Na hata hiyo hakuna kakoto nje wako kwa koroga.
Naivasha town is now facing a shortage of male condoms as rally lovers continue trooping into the popular vacation destination to witness the ongoing Wild Safari Rally Championships, with all roads leading to Naivasha for the 2nd edition of the championship. Merry-making has been the order of the day, with chemists running out of the commodity. The residents say the free distributed government condoms had run out since the demand was very high. The shortage has been attributed to the sudden increase in visitors to Naivasha, and commercial sex workers are having a field day leading to the shortage.
Things are not good at all. As you look around, most of us are now vendors selling to another because nobody is consuming. People are very, very broke. And if you look around now, my small shop here, you can see I have none other than my staff consuming what I've just brought for them. Now, I'm only wondering now that I have a lot of food now. I've cooked the whole food of Bugari, and nobody's here to consume. Even my neighbors, even if I want to give anybody, nobody wants to consume. For food, I'm on now saying that we have really made serious losses, and we can accept it and go back to wherever we come from. I come from Nairobi. Yes. This comes to around, plus food and drink comes around 35,000. So that one has gone. You can see the stuff they want to be paid. I need also to take my things back. I brought them here from Nairobi. I'm taking it back to Nairobi. You can see how difficult that thing is.
Anya nije huku ni kwa ajili ya venye nilisikia hiyo wakati mwingine venye kulikuwa watu walikuwa wanapata pesa, waliuza, lakini kinyume na venye nilikuwa nimesikia juu hatujauza. Naona nchi hakuna pesa, watu hawana pesa. Kama sisi tunauza vitu za cheap, pesa kidogo, na hakuna mtu anatuangalia, juu hata hawana pesa.
Kusema ukweli, biashara iko chini. Hata ukiangalia kazi yetu iko chini. Tumejaribu kuongelesha customer, hata customer kuongelesha wanasema bei iko juu ya nyama. Kama nyama ni pesa hii, hata unga iko juu. Sasa shida ni hiyo yote tumepata hapa kwetu. Kwa sababu hii mbuzi, kama hii mbuzi, saa hii ukinunua hii mbuzi unanunua na 8,000 ama 10,000. ukikuja kuuza hujauza chochote. For sure. Hii nyama yote huwezi pelekea watoto wakakule. Bila ugali. Kusema ukweli. Hii nyama yote huwezi pelekea watoto.
And now to some entertaining news. In the past 2 weeks, Haro Asimio has become a viral statement with Kenyans from all corners sharing the video on social media. For popular TikToker Joe Washira Nyokabi, it was just a comedy skit of him mimicking Martha Karua, the Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate Raila Odinga's running mate. But on Friday morning, Nyokabi had a privilege to meet Karua on a personal level. Activist Boniface Mwangi, who shared the photos of the Kenyan TikToker on social media, stated that he did the video with an aim of getting only 10 views. By Thursday, the video had garnered more than 700,000 views on TikTok and over 3,000 on Instagram. Let's have a look at what transpired there.
Azimio. Haro. 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 Azimio. Baba na mama. Kuidania
Raila.
Nyuranjigwa.
Uongozi bora inawezekana. Ajira kwa vijana
inawezekana.
Matibabu kwa wote inawezekana. Nchi ambayo inatufaidi kama Wakenya inawezekana. Azimio inawezekana.
Well, let's take another commercial break. I'll be back with the remaining part of the bulletin.
Bushangala Technical Institute Kakamega. Intake is on for full-time courses in civil engineering, building technology, artisan in masonry and plumbing, applied sciences, clothing and textile, mechanical engineering, welding and fabrication, business courses, computer and ICT, electrical and electronics engineering. We also have provision for persons with a disability. Send your application to the principal, Bushangala TTI Kakamega. Call us on 0721 280180 or 0726 800561. Send an SMS quickly with your name, type of course, KCSE or KCPE min grade, postal or email address, desired intake, phone number and your ID to 0721 280180 or 0726 800561. Write to the principal, PO Box 2227 5100 Kakamega. Visit us online on www.bushangalatechnical.ac.ke. Exams are carried out by the Kenya National Examination Council. Bushangala Technical Institute Kakamega, Center of Excellence. Information, knowledge, expert analysis.
Kalonzo leo ako hii side, kesho ako hii side. Even to his children at home, they're really wondering, what does my father stand for?
Kutokuwa na msimamo ni kitu mbaya sana. Kutokuwa na msimamo ni kitu mbaya sana. Ni kitu mbaya sana.
Never implemented because of the confusion that arose because of the handshake stories.
Lakini mzee amekanyanga polepole akuja kupitia ukiwa bado kwa barabara.
I wouldn't say that, because I would go with what Deputy President himself said when he was unveiling regarding Gachagua, because it will be putting words in his mouth.
Credible and authoritative insight in news and leadership auditing.
Right, welcome on board. My name is Rida Chebet.
Get the latest financial and business information.
The only challenge we have now is about the hike of the prices of food, whereby when you come like the oil we have now, the price is too high for us.
Hoteli lazima iwe na changamoto zake, sababu ukiona saizi ni wakati tumekuwa kwa corona ndio imeisha, sasa hivi vitu zimepanda. So for us to maintain ile quantity, it's now a problem for us. So we have to add some prices to other things, or we have to reduce the quantity.
That will open your acumen on sound investment in the largest and most developed country in Eastern and Central Africa.
I swear to God, I love Kenya.
I guess I tell all fellow Kenyans to just, be in love and respect love and the place it plays in our lives.
TV will never be the same again. It will be better.
Really appreciate CA and also our viewers. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Maisha!
Introducing the award-winning TV station, Maisha TV, Kenya's fastest growing TV. Looking for the reliable and affordable branding services with a guarantee of quality and durability? Work with Aluta Brands Media. Aluta Brands Media is a branding and general printing company in Bungoma town that provides reliable and affordable branding services. This includes t-shirt printing, graphic design, large format printing, promotional items, and digital printing, among many. We design and print flyers, brochures, catalogs, business cards, calendars, burial programs, letterheads, posters, receipt books, job IDs, school IDs, certificates, and notebooks, among many. We also do banners, stickers, roll-up stands, vehicle branding, backlit lightbox, one-way vision or window graphics flags. We also brand different promotional items in bulk, including mugs, caps, wristbands, water bottle, bags, pens, loyal cards, among many. We do high quality fabric t-shirts printed with long-lasting PCV. We have lightweight t-shirts, medium weight, and heavyweight. Price differs according to quality of the t-shirts and also quantity. We do embroidery, vinyl clothing, screen printing, digital sublimation, direct to government printing. Give us a call now on 0724 508 050 or 077 508 050 or 0733 508 050. You can also email us at info@aluta.co.ke. We are located at Bungoma Town, Bidon House, first floor, next to National Oil, near the Governor's office. Our social media handles are at @Aluta_Kenya and Aluta Kenya. Aluta Brands Media, giving you quality and durability. Every Saturday,
Touchdown! The most dramatic classic for us. Scotland continue. They're going to do it, are they? Van Burma. One takes hold. And here comes the try. And key goal for Moiros Magician. What a try by the Italians. Thundering into the game with some nuclear attacking for Italy.
At 1:30 p.m.
The whole of the stadium to its feet.
Maisha Sports replays.
Welcome back and much appreciation for staying with Maisha Prime News. My name is Rida Kering Chebet, and now to kick us off is our education segment.
Friday marked an important milestone in Ugunja sub-county in Siaya County as parents, teachers and students assembled to celebrate the academic achievement of dedicated teachers, students and the sacrifice of loving parents during the Education Day marked at Ambira Boys High School.
The function was the celebration of the KCSE and KCP results of 2021 for the Anglican schools in Siaya, where Ambira emerged the top with a mean of 8.45, followed by Inia Girls 7.3 and 7.2.
Several speakers, including the Quality Assurance Officer in Ugunja Sub-County, Milka Arucho, took the opportunity to congratulate all education stakeholders for the exemplary performance through the concerted efforts of the great team of teachers, educationists, and the parents in adequately preparing children as the country's future quality workforce.
Why do you pay fees? Yes, the child is called Baba. Unaitwa Baba nyumbani. Unaitwa Dadi, Mama, Super, Toto. You call them very nice names. But then now when it comes to payment of fees, that is your obligation as a parent. We do not want to do that role.
Some of our schools are managing even to take a student to the university. Now remember, education, university education will be the beginning or the starting point for all the students or all the people.
Without education, you are not anything. Education equalizes. It makes you equal with the other person. What does not equalize is money. So much money, somebody has a lot of money, have a lot of houses, many vehicles, but if they don't have education, they are nothing.
It is this effort that has created a big pool of skilled human resources in various fields, thus making the county a regional leader in supply of skilled labor.
It is important that you know that you have a right to education. It is also important for you to know that it is you and you alone who will carry the burden. It is also important for you to know that you do not know whether you will come back to school after pregnancy. You may not come back, even though the law allows you to come back. Ensure the school environment is free of crime, drugs and alcohol, even at home. Again, I also want to advise parents. I know most of us are rich, we can afford alcohol. Why do you bring alcohol and then put in the fridge and then you are not there 24/7? You are the ones who are showing these children.
Since education is essential for many reasons, such as providing knowledge, schools and students present were awarded for their efforts to help the institutions provide support to children and help them better themselves and understand the world around them.
We congratulate the schools that performed well in the 2021 examination and encourage them to strive for greater heights of performance in the forthcoming examination. Special mention goes to Ambira High School. For a long time we struggled to beat Sawagongo and Ngia for a very long period of time. But now we have beaten them this year.
There was also time to showcase unique talents, a key flag sport in the education sector in the country too. Students took the opportunity to parade their uniqueness through different abilities.
And she's looking up to
Calls for child discipline, parental support and quality curricular expense seconded every speech made in the event.
The girls, I was once like you. We went through school. Our teachers told us, don't mess your life up. It is you who has your life in your hands. Your parents don't walk around with you everywhere you go. Teachers don't do that. They don't walk anywhere with you. They only see you in class. At the end of it, you go home. How you get home is your business. So if you go places where pregnancy is likely to occur, hiyo wewe ndio umetafuta hiyo maneno. Those boys who are making people pregnant are from 3.
At the end of the day, it was jubilation at Ambira Boys High School in Ugunja Sub-County as the stakeholders marked the Education Day held at the SCK-sponsored school in Siaya County.
We are gathered here today at a time of transition whereby we are moving on from the 844 system to the competency-based curriculum, and we pray that in this process we will focus not only on the intellect but also on developing the intelligence of our people.
For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Bushabi Jr.
Now let me usher in our daily business feature, My Hustle, My Life, My Story. Thank you, Millicent, for that.
There is no doubt that we live in an era of rapid transformation. In the last half a decade, new and second-hand household goods shop has been an intrinsic part of Steven, driving change across the Bungoma e-commerce industry.
Mimi naitwa Kata Steven. Biashara yenye tunafanya kwa tunauza second hand. Tunanunua na kuuza second hand. So kuna vitu kama sofa set, kuna vitanda, kuna mattresses, kuna ufa, ma TV, kuna pia tunapatiana instant cash. Yes.
So this is rather like now alone in
tunapatiana instant cash. Kidogo at least kitu kama emergency cash. Bora kama kumsea yako na asset na kama security. So tunapatiana loan kidogo. At least kama source of income kwa mtu mwenye yako na biashara ndogo ama pengine kama ako na emergency. Hiyo cash na kama inamsaidia. Yes.
Na historia hii biashara ni gani?
Background information ya this ya second hand ni entrepreneur, yani tukua tu na ile creativity ya kuja na idea, tukakuja na idea ya second hand kwa sababu hapa town na biashara mingi. So hii ya second hand at least ni kitu yenye iko unique. So wakati tunafanya biashara ya second hand tukapata kwa market tuna prosper kidogo. So ukiangalia kama TV maufa at least iko cheap kidogo, unacheck consider na compare na ile asset mpya hizo ziko juu kidogo. So second hand inakuwa cheap, so it's affordable for customers.
In mastery of the subtle art of pricing, Steven does his general value evaluation and marketing. He says 3 employees have so far graced his venture.
Second hand competition kwa chini kidogo. Hii town maduka za second hand kwa chache. Alafu compare duka za mpya ziko mingi sana. So ile competition ya kuuza new assets or new TVs or electronics iko juu. So kwa second hand consider what first of all ni affordable. Kitu ya pili unapata iko tu. So unacheki. So at least customers wanakuwa unapata customers kwa urahisi. Kwa na mpya ambayo iko mashop za electronics iko mingi down. Yep.
Prices zako wewe uvaluaje? Kwa sababu hizo zile brand new products they usually priced expensively compared to vile utauza the second hand product. So what determines your pricing?
Kitu ya kwanza yafaa kwa very unafanya research ya hali ya juu. Naangalia online wanauza aje mpya, wholesale ya TV kwa aje. So ukienda kubuy second hand unafanya hiyo consideration, unaona hii nikibuy pesa fulani at least nikiuza hivi sitakuwa nimepitisha sana, ama sitakuwa nimefinya sana customer, pia customer hajalifinya sana. So wewe unafanya hiyo consideration kwa value nini, kwa revaluation. So ukiangalia revaluation ya hiyo asset ni unabuy second hand, at least ikifaa bei fulani, alafu unaona unaweza, yani unafanya ile projection, unaweza uza pesa fulani, ukibuy pesa fulani unaweza uza pesa fulani. So at least usiuze bei kali sana kushinda mtu ama wholesale ya mtu asema. Alafu pia unafanya research ya market yenye ya trend. Yeah.
Good. Now Steve, nataka turudi nyuma kidogo. Hii biashara ulianza lini na growth yake imekuwa hadi leo?
Ni busy meka almost 5 years in market so far. Progress iko sawa. Iko sawa. Na most definitely tukianza busy na pole lakini after sometimes ina grow.
Yes. Ukianza na bidhaa kama ipi? Magani?
Unajua ukianza shop unaanza na vitu chache tu, unaweza anza hata na TV moja, kwa mbili, but with the time ina grow depending on the capital na ile bidii pia unafanya kwa job. Yes.
So mimi nataka kujua ni aje ukaanzisha hii biashara, kwa sababu you mentioned una sell second hand, which means unadependia customer later. So customer walikuwa wameleta ndio kaona acha ni value hizi vitu ama kulikuaje?
Kuna kitu inaitwa marketing, yes. Marketing strategy. Yeah. So once people wakati unafungua shop ya second hand unaanza kumarket hiyo duka second hand. So wakati utamarket watu wajua watakuwa wanaleta tu. Yeah. So wakati watakuwa wanaleta easy inakuwa nyepesi, lakini ukianza inakuwa vigumu kidogo. Yeah.
I know that employment has been a very big challenge in this country. Yes. Have you managed to employ anybody?
First, yeah.
Ama projection yako ni gani?
Tuko na employees, tuko nao kama watatu. Yes.
Alafu turudi tena nyuma kidogo, ukianzisha initial capital yako ilikuwa kama ngapi hivi na ukaipata aje?
Capital ni set system. Alafu kuna donations, kuna nini, unaweza chukua ka soft loan, so ile basically tu hiyo savings tu. Si lazima uanze job na pesa mingi, unaweza anza na ile kidogo uko nayo.
As COVID impacts loom, COVID largely affected Steven's business, shifting the customer growth. His secret, he says, lies on reducing expenses and staying validly creative.
Yeah.
Na ukienda mbele nini unatarajia?
So ukienda mbele unajua ukiregister shop unaweza inakuwa na license. So unaweza apply loan, ukapatiwa loan, ka boost stock kidogo, na hivyo ndo kugrow. Yes.
So you target thriving on loans?
Not really, but it's part of financing capital.
Now hiyo model ni sustainable kweli?
Yeah, so quite sometimes. Nategemea, unajua kama ni bank nimelipa kwa year, so na basic kwa poa pia inarudisha. Yes.
Kwa hivyo ukienda mbele hii biashara umesema imekuwa hapa for 5 years. Yes. Now it's doing well. Yes, there are challenges. Especially the last 2 years we've had COVID-19. Ime shift with kidogo vile mna run business models zenu.
Most definite COVID may affect economy worldwide, countrywide, regional wide, may affect in one way or the other. So kuna ile sales zimerudi chini kidogo, wasome kosa do. So pia directly or indirectly ina affect kama business person, but nilikwambia mwanzo unakuwa creative at least kuweza run kwa hiyo market.
Yes. So far siri yako ni gani iko enable to stay kwa market for that long? Niliambiwa mtu akihit the second year of business they must be really doing well.
Siri ya biashara. Siri ya biashara ni kureduce expenses na kukuwa creative. At least tuna increase income. Yeah.
Kwa hivyo ni benefits gani unaweza sema umepata kwa hii biashara?
Sasa hiyo ni private kidogo, lakini ziko at least ukiona, unajua ina improve lifestyle, ina improve living standard at least, unacheki basically.
Stephen hopes that the youth remain competent and understand they have to be ready to take risks.
Kitu ya kwanza in business, lazima kuwa risk averse. Yani ujitolee kuwa risk, yani at least ufanye kitu, hata lazima kuwa, yani ujitolee kufanya kitu yenye ni unique tu. Kwa competent, tegemea Mungu na vitu zitakuwa poa. Tuko smart TV. We normally sell new and second hand. So tuko na TV 40 inch, 50 inch, 43, 32, 19 mpaka 17. So hizo ndio vitu tuko na ufa, home theaters, tuko na fridge, tuko na masofa, tuko na bed, tuko na vitu mingi. Yeah.
Alafu pia utuambie iko located wapi?
Location ya shop ya Maximax Household, It's Maximax Household. Iko located Oldrex alongside the road from Futu Road. Kutoka Cooperative. For the place Oldrex Bubakaya Plaza. Yes.
Maisha Television, my hustle, my story, Brian Gad.
Right, we've come to the end of the authoritative and incisive bulletin, Maisha Prime News. Remember, Maisha Prime News comes to you every Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. and 9 a.m. and also on weekends, brought to you by Sharon Chekchumba, that is Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. My name is Rida Karim Chebet. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.